Hi there, from a rather damp Farnham Flint. Believe it or not, this is August, but the June heat waves passed through and we're getting a lot better fishing with the low pressure systems. A bit damper than some of us would like, but as you can see from the gallery we'll be posting up later, there's been an awful lot of good fish coming out over the month of July from Redden District waters. We're going to have our usual fisheries feedback. There will be the picture competition winner and also the winner of the July Fish of the Month competition. Plus all our usual news, features, prospects for the coming weeks. So let's get on with it. Okay, so we're joined by Del, and what we thought we'd do this month is take a look back, Del, at the well, I think was a very successful open day. I mean, the weather forecast was unbelievable, and you must at some point. I know we cancelled the bouncy castle because the prospect of children floating over Farnham Flint was a bit too much to bear.
Although some children probably be,
benefit from it.
Yeah, it would be a good thing. Yeah, I mean, to say that we got away with it, I think when you looked at the forecasts, it was almost like Armageddon was going to happen.
Was it 44-mile-an-hour winds?
Yeah, exactly. But as I said, I think I said in our last video, we're fishermen. We're not made of sugar, so there was no way we were going to cancel it. Come hell or high water, we were going to go ahead with it, and thankfully we did. And what a great day it was.
I think we got away with it really, because it was raining first thing. When we were setting up it was wet and it was horrible the day before, but actually once the car boot started, the drizzle stopped, it was a bit blustery, and there was a time when Paul Whitehouse was speaking I thought the marquee was going to take off.
Yeah.
But actually it was a pretty good day.
No, it was
soaked, did they?
Yeah, I think we only one gazebo was totaled, so it did amuse me that Martin Kent spent most of the day standing there in a pose holding on to his gazebo, because he was right in the firing line with it all. But we got away with it. We got away with it, definitely.
So, I know they're still adding up the sums, but a little birdie's told me we've raised nearly £1,000 for Redden District Juniors. That's fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, back of the fag paper sort of packet sums that we've done so far. We haven't done an in-depth one, but certainly early signs are we've raised a good few quid, and every penny counts, so they say. So it was good.
Things I liked about it, I thought the coaching worked really well this year. I like the idea of having our fantastic coaching team. Let's face it, we're raising money for work they do, helping lots and lots of people catch their first fish on callows. But then those youngsters and other people who wanted to get their rod bent, they had an opportunity to sit with an experienced angler on Wilmots, and we got some fantastic pictures of particularly a young lady catching their first carp and the rest of it. I think that balance went really well.
Yeah. And I think I was told there was a lady from Poole and a lady from somewhere, Kent I think it was as well, that purposely drove all the way here to catch their first carp. So, look, it doesn't get any better than that, really. It really don't. I was amazed when someone told me about it.
I mean, people have said to me, why are you doing this thing? And I mean, I was thinking about this on the drive over here. I mean, look, obviously it's fantastic promotion for Redden District. We had a big boost in permit sales off the back of it, but that's not just why we do it. It's also about promoting fishing in our locality, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, I get sick of saying it really, but I see Redden District as part of the community, not just the angling community, but the community as a whole. And whether you're an experienced angler, a part-time angler, or you've never even thought about angling, it's a good place to spend a few hours once a year coming to our event. And for me, that's what it's all about. It's all about the interaction where you've got experienced anglers, novice anglers, you've got people in high-powered, high-paid jobs, rubbing shoulders with people that are less fortunate, and that for me is what it's all about. And everybody can they've got a common theme, and that's angling, and it's just bringing all that together. And for me, that's what it's all about.
Well, that was backed up. I had one of the guys from Oxford who came down, and I just said, "What did you enjoy about it, Matt?" He said, "Well, just meeting other anglers."
Yeah.
You know, just chatting.
Yeah.
I thought Paul Whitehouse was a star.
Yep.
Problem I think we've got for next year
Yeah, we've got to top it.
How are we going to top that? 'Cause,
Yeah.
I mean, he's undoubtedly the biggest attraction, and I think if we'd had decent weather, we might have struggled to cope with the crowd.
I think it done us a favour in that respect, to be honest. But yeah, I think we'll have to get our thinking caps on as to who we can get again. Maybe we'll have to stick Paul's arm up behind his back and see if we can get him again.
I'll get Bob Mortimer.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see. We were just lucky they did. Well, Del, I mean, there's loads and loads of people to thank. Do you just want to sort of publicly say a few words for the people who made help?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, you know, anyone involved with Reading District, you know, without their support on a committee level and their hard work, then it wouldn't get off the ground. The volunteers, again, you know, the unsung heroes, if you like, you know, believe me, parking cars is akin to herding cats. So, you know, even the guys that were parking the cars, and, you know, they're on their feet all day. And the tackle guys, the tackle and the stall holders and the boot sailors, you know, it's a long day stood on your feet. And while, you know, the boot sailors to a point are doing it for their own ends and clearing out their sheds and keeping their wives happy by, you know, reducing their fishing tackle. You know, a lot of the stall holders were there just to show a presence and what have you. And without everybody chipping in, it wouldn't happen. I mean, the only thing negative I would say about that sort of thing was I was a bit disappointed in one of my bailiffs making a big song and dance about throwing sponges at me. I mean, I thought he was a bit too keen in rallying everyone, which I didn't think went down. I've noted it.
It was your idea, that.
It was my idea, but
so I'm sorry, I've got no sympathy.
I didn't need one of my friends telling all and sundry I was doing it. So, yeah.
You made a rod for your own back there,
Yeah,
mate.
exactly.
Okay, well, again, I echo what Del said. Big thanks to everyone that turned up. Big thanks to everyone that supported us. And, yep, we'll make it bigger and better next year. And just hope for better weather.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll move on to our more usual fisheries report. Del, what have you got to report back over the last month, over and beyond the open day?
Yeah, I was going to say, they don't leave a lot. Maintenance, really, this time of the year, we're sort of just keeping the status quo, trying to, you know, keep a lid on the grass and the brambles and the stingers and everything else. Jim's been out and given Pingewood a fairly serious haircut. It hadn't had a lot of attention earlier on in the year, and it had gone absolutely crazy. So he spent a good few days over there. There's still work to do, and this counts for a few of our venues where trees in swims are starting to sort of encroach. We're busy formulating a list for this winter, because we can't be doing tree unless there's a problem tree, i.e. it's over a footpath or blocking a swim completely. Then, you know, we won't tackle trees at this time of the year because we get shouted at and it's not the right thing to do. So there's a few sort of bits and pieces around Pingewood that we still need to do. There's a few bits and pieces around Wisley we need to be doing. So yeah, I mean, as far as the maintenance goes, it's just trying to maintain and keep a lid on the growth of everything.
Will you be going back to some of the river swims in September? Because well, you've had a huge growth of grass with all this wet weather around.
Yeah. I mean, Jim was out last week doing some of the river venues already. Because, you know, anyone that's got a lawn will tell you how quickly it can grow, and of course, as soon as you cut it, it goes whoopee, let's grow a bit more, you know. So we will take our September cut isn't the same as our June cut, in so much as we start at the beginning and finish at the end. We just take it as and when it arises. So, you know, if we get someone reporting back to us, oh, such and such a venue is getting a little bit overgrown, then we'll go and do it. Otherwise, we'd spend the whole month doing it again. So we do it sort of on a ad hoc sort of basis.
And the hatchery, I know you've got all the permissions in place. Presumably, you're going to be spending the next few months on the build for that now, are we?
Yeah. We were actually discussing it this morning, me and Jim, because I've just come off of a week's break. So we sat in the office this morning coming up with our next sort of 2 months worth of work, and we're actually going to make a start tomorrow. So the idea is within this next month, we'll have the building up and all the equipment inside, because come September I've got quite a big holiday. I'm going to be away for 2 weeks. Jim's going to be away for a week. So September's sort of, a bit sort of truncated, if you like. So we need to get everything done by the end of August as far as the building goes. Then once we're into October, we're planning on starting the otter fence at Wiley's, which Jim is going to be in charge of. This is his first major project that I've told him I don't want anything to do with it, just get on and do it. So this is Jim's chance to shine. And while Jim's doing that, I'll be doing the fitting out of the hatchery, if you like. So so tomorrow morning we're going to be drilling the concrete and putting the first anchor in for the first post.
Fabulous. Well, make sure you take lots of pictures, because I know there's a load of interest in this project. So we'll document it as we go through. Thanks very much for that. And I think it's probably time now to have a look at the Fish of the Year competition for the month of July. And I have to say, the winner of this month is Jason Hyde. Jason's had, I think, 8 double-figure barbel this year. He has been absolutely prolific on our Kennet venues. His best so far is £12.15, and I don't know of a more successful barbel angler this season.
No, certainly. I've long said the most successful angler you'll never have heard of. However, certainly the guys that put stuff on our Facebook page and what have you, Jason, wow. I think he's stepped in something. I think a birder's on him, and I think somewhere along the line a black cat has been involved, but he's...
Or he could just be a very good angler.
Yeah, he could be. And if he is, he needs to share his secrets, because, he's exceptional. And, for a river that's reputed to not have any barbel in it because all the otters have eaten them all, he ain't doing too bad, is he?
No, he's not too bad, catching fish that aren't there. Well, Jason, congratulations. If you get in touch with us, there's a £50 tackle voucher generously donated by Angling Direct, and the July trophy is yours, and obviously your fish will go into the competition for the bigger prize for the end of the year. So congratulations, Jason. Right, we'll now move on to our July fishing picture competition. This isn't so much about the size of fish, it's something that Dell awards each month for the best fishing picture that's either been sent to us or appears on our Facebook post. So we'll roll the gallery and then we'll hear from Dell. Okay, Del, so that's an impressive collection of fish, and we'll talk about some of them later, but let's hear your winner first.
Well, the winner I mean, it's so hard. People's photography skills seem to be getting better. When we first come up with this sort of idea, there was always one that stood out, you know, head and shoulders above everything else. But every month it seems to be harder and harder and harder. But
well, I think the iPhones are getting better, aren't they?
Yeah, quite possibly. But I mean, for this month, I don't think you go much past young Theo and his father. We're catching his first carp from Wilmots. When I first sort of had this idea of building Wilmots and creating what we've got over here, I called it Dads and Lads. And
yeah, not very PC, that, is it? Yeah.
No,
I've just been talking to a mother.
Yeah, exactly. And I think when we had the opening day, I said Dads and Lads and caught myself halfway through saying it, you know. But you know, look. The theory,
we know what you mean.
Everyone knows what we mean, and that epitomises exactly what Wilmots was all about in my head before we started building it. So,
well, I'm not going to argue, mate. I think that's a worthy winner. Let's just have a look at a few of the others. I was pleased that one of our carpers actually sent us a picture of a Farnham flint fish.
Yeah.
27-pound fish. That's his first fish from Flint, and I just wish we'd heard more from the carpers. Every month we notice 30 and 40 pounders coming out, but they all keep it quiet.
Yeah, exactly, and it does make me smile, to be fair, because there ain't a carp angler in the country worth his salt that doesn't know what's in our lakes. So the idea of them trying to keep everything secret is ridiculous. But you know, it's up to everyone else. You know, you do as you please. But I mean, Luke, I know how desperate he was to get a south permit, and then to see him catch his first fish from Flint. Yeah, and he's a nice guy.
Oh, well, that's good. Another nice guy who is a carper, he's not just a carper at all, is Scott Elvelin. Now, Scott has hung up his carp rods and has been chasing barbel. What a beautiful, he doesn't say how big it is, but what a beautiful picture of that Kennet fish.
I mean, again, if you were going to draw a picture of a barbel, that's well, it wouldn't be if I drew it, to be fair. No,
but fins up the whole bit.
Yeah, it's a beautiful, and it's a cracking photo.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's been some lovely ones there, and you know, I was delighted with the size of the barbel that have been coming out. Some really nice chub, and probably the last one I really want to draw attention to is Alex Davey. That's a Thames chub. I've been asked not to say which venue it comes from, but you'd have to be an idiot not to spot that.
Yeah.
But what a cracking fish! I think that was £5.10. I mean, that's going to be a big £6-pounder come the winter, isn't it?
Yeah, that's a big fish.
It's a beast, isn't it?
That is a big fish, and you know, some of the chub fishing we've got on our venues, particularly the Thames. Although, having said that, there's fish of that size in the Kennet, and they do crop up every now and again.
Yeah.
And you know, everyone sort of gravitates towards the Thames for the chub, and I don't blame them. However, don't discount the Kennet.
No doubt about it. We are blessed with some excellent fishing for specimen chub, and that was quite clear at the open day, talking to some very experienced chub anglers like Dave Tarrant and the rest of it. That's one of the reasons they got a Reading ticket. You know, they know our waters have got £8 chub in them. You know, it's as simple as that. Okay, Del, thanks very much for that, and just congratulations. You better remind Theo of his prize.
Theo, either yourself or your dad, send us a message or an email or a text or anything you like, and let us know whether you want a course pack or a carp pack, which is courtesy of Rod Hutchinson Bait and Tackle. Let us know, and what we'll do is we'll stick it in the hut, and you will get your cap with just like this, although I think we've got green ones this year, and you'll get the bait pack of your choice. So let us know and we'll get it in the hut.
Thanks a lot, Del. Right, so our final session, as usual, we're joined by Jim Stansfield, our Deputy Fishery Officer. Jim, have you been out fishing lately, and what have you been catching?
I've actually, done a little bit myself recently. I've had a couple of days sort of trotting on the Holy Brook. It's been quite successful, having a few roach and things. No monster ones yet, but we'll get there at some point. Hopefully the winter comes and there'll be a big one around. But yeah, getting the mojo, and I'm getting out there a bit, which is good.
Fabulous. Right, so August, as you can see from the picture gallery, you can catch anything this month of the year.
Yep.
Although the tench fishing can get a bit more challenging as we get into August, can't it? I mean, what's your view? Let's start with the lakes. What's your view in terms of sensible targets for the lakes at the moment?
Sensible targets for your lakes. Carp fishing, obviously, is going to be one. The carp, they've got their spawning well out of the way now, sort of a good month or so ago. So these carp, all carp, they'll maybe drop potentially a couple of pounds when they spawn. So these carp, once they've had a spawn, they're going to be trying to eat lots and lots to put that back on, getting ready for the autumn and just getting really back into fit fighting condition. So yeah, carp's going to be one to go at for sure. The tench fishing, I would say it could slow up a little bit now as this sort of weed's starting to die off. The fish are sort of sitting in the weed a lot of the time, and they're not really as active as they are early on in the spring. But again, you can still get out there and catch them. You just got to keep your eyes peeled and find them.
Well, they're coming from Cottage Lane still, aren't they?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Cottage Lane down there again. It's a sort of venue that it doesn't sort of get over the fish too much. So again, if you want a sort of couple of hours in the afternoon, you can have a walk around Cottage Lane and you can find some fish with doing one lap of the lake down there. You look for a few fizz patches and things like that, and you can have good afternoons fishing down there. You'll catch as many carp as you will tench as well. So always a good chance for a bend in a rod there. And
of course, the tench to go out at Longwater as well.
Yes, yeah. With obviously now we're out of the closed season and Longwater's back open. There's some good head of tench in there. I wouldn't really say there's any monsters in there, but I've known of it doing fish of £7 plus before. But again, they're all quality condition fish over there, so you can't grizzle at that.
Let's think about the rivers. I mean, the Kennet's been fishing particularly well for barbel this year. I mean, it's hard. People will blank, but stick at it. There's a big fish with your name on it.
Yeah,
I mean, we've seen that. Any particular stretches stand out for you, or are they coming out all the way through?
I think they are, to be quite honest, all over the venues. Yeah, sort of any of our backwater venues are brilliant places to target. Again, they're not the sort of places that see boat traffic and things like that. So these barbel. It's a barbel, it loves the backwater, they love oxygen water and things like that, fast flows, so that's where to go. Any of our backwater venues, you'll do well for the barbel.
And the Thames, I mean, I get excited, as you know, come October, November time for the big chub, but looking at some of the stuff that's been posted and talking to anglers, those Thames chub are starting to come into condition now, aren't they?
Yeah. I've seen a couple getting caught, and I don't think they're quite sort of filled out at the minute, but again, as you say, condition. Those Thames chub, the last couple of years, have been absolutely amazing condition. I saw a photo a couple of days ago, actually, of someone catching a big 5-pounder, and you look at the photo and you think, cool, straight away that's a 7-pound fish, but it's actually only a high 5. But come the autumn, winter time, that sort of fish could be pushing up around 7 pounds.
Yeah. And I mean, a little plug for our venue behind us here, Wilmot's. I noticed that Northern Tony Holsworth had, was it £135 on a Tuesday club match?
135, yeah, that's a record weight for the Tuesday club guys. So yeah, they're really on it at the moment. I think there's going to be a bit of competition, so there's going to be a few guys trying to beat that.
Well, that's a hell of a weight of fish. Okay, well look, thanks very much for running us through that. And just to remind people again, those of you that are interested in fishing the Thames, don't forget the Thames Angling Parking Scheme. You can get the permit for a £5 from the hut here. You've just got to bring your rod licence and your car registration number along. Cheapest parking available in Reading, especially for anglers. So just another benefit that we like to offer, and as Jim knows, there's some very good fishing to be had right in the middle of Reading, isn't there?
Yeah, definitely is, yeah.
Smashing. Thanks very much, Jim.
Welcome. Enjoy, guys.
Right, so as they say in the film business, that's a wrap. Hope you found that useful and interesting. We get very good feedback from members. It takes a bit of effort and time to put these videos together, but we think it's appreciated. Please let us have your comments. Don't forget to subscribe to the Reading District YouTube channel by pressing the button. You'll get the videos quicker that way. And if you've got any comments or views on the fishing, what we're doing, stick them up on our Facebook page or get in touch with us. We're always keen to hear from you. So have a great month's fishing out there. Enjoy your holidays and tight lines.